Hello, everyone. Today we're going to discuss the subject of capitalist realism. With that, I'll turn the subject to my grandson, Tristan. Go ahead, Tristan.
All right, thank you. So, as my grandfather just said, today we want to address the topic of capitalist realism and kind of try to explain what this idea is. So, first of all, I want to say that the idea was originally thought of by a philosopher. His name was Mark Fisher. He is a kind of modern day Marxist communist philosopher, and he came up with this idea called capitalist realism. And essentially, it's kind of a way to explain why there's not very much revolutionary activity happening in industrialized first world nations today. It's kind of an explanation for the lack of revolutionary socialist activity. And now this explanation is essentially that within capitalist society, capitalism has pretty much indoctrinated everyone, living within it to, think that capitalism is the only option. It's the only way to live. It's the only function of humanity. It's the only economic system that would ever work or make sense within logic. Now, this is kind of interesting to me because, obviously we can see this reflected within today's society. Because you can ask pretty much anyone, like let's say in America, for example, you can ask pretty much anyone if they agree with the current government or if they agree with the, current system, and they will say no, I hate, the two-party system. I hate the parties that we have to choose between. They're both rotten, they're both corrupt. But then when you ask them, hey, what about an alternative to capitalism? They say, oh, capitalism is the only way, though. This is just how life is. And that kind of explains and, kind of proves Mark Fisher's idea here that capitalist realism is a thing that exists. Because capitalism has essentially been able to reveal itself as this, corrupt, rotten system, but it's also been able to indoctrinate people into believing that it's the only way. Now, that's very interesting because not too long ago, people were raging against capitalism. Like, let's say in the 1930s, for example, let's say in the 1930s, obviously there were a ton of labor movements. There was, the establishment of the, the 2-day vacation, the weekend vacation. There was the abolition of child labor. All of these people were raging against capitalism and raging against the system of capitalism not too long ago. But ever since, this capitalist realism has set in, people don't, revolt or, go against capitalism anymore. They just say, okay, well, this is just how it is. This is just this is just life, this is just what life is. And I just wanted to point that out. It's not very, necessary to the idea. I just thought it was kind of interesting to talk about. But anyway, that would pretty much wrap up the video explaining capitalist realism. I know it was pretty short, but, pretty short topic, pretty simple. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.